on why the Mercury Retrograde is nothing to get upset about. Thomas Wake, All Souls Astrology, Astro Wake, 2020 and beyond. Now, in a world where we move so fast and there's so much information traveling and so much to intake, and so easy to have our minds get distracted, overwhelmed, busied. These are the things that are a few of Mercury's favorite things. So during a Mercury either stationing, when it slows down and stops, and then a retrograde. So let's first start and talking about as it stations to stop. This gives us a chance to slow down and to stop and to go slower about our day and to perhaps share a couple less emails or Facebook videos or YouTube videos, whatever. And this is much needed in this time. And as we go in reverse, as it goes retrograde, and this is just as it appears in its travels with the Earth. It really actually doesn't go in a backwards. Forwards always, backwards never. Shout out to reggae music, Jacob Miller. When it goes retrograde, this gives us a chance to be in retrospect, to re-evaluate our actions and have our thoughts in a more reflective modality. Also something that is much needed because we're always on the go. We're always living in the future. This helps us to slow down and to live in the moment and to live a reflected life. What Greek philosopher said that the unreflected life was in fact not even worth living? I believe it was Aristotle or Plato. Now, if we don't do these things and we stay in the hustle bustle of this world, the world around us will give us things to make us slow down. Hence a car breaking down, a computer breaking down, a transaction being paused or even reversed. What are the things that Mercury is in charge of? Wherever we hear the word Merc, it's mercurial. Mercury is the fastest moving planet around the sun. It's the smallest. I'm not sure as small as Pluto, but very small. And it gets very hot and it gets very cold, depending on where it is. Now, it's known as the messenger between heaven and earth, or even heaven and hell. It is in charge of moving things. The messenger is in charge of our nervous system, which transmits messages from our brain to the rest of our body and whatnot. The Caduceus staff is one of the most understood by the wide mass symbols, and perhaps the most important. It baffles me. It's on the sign of our medical world, cars and offices, because when you truly know the symbolism of Mercury staff, also known as Asclepius' staff, if there's only one serpent on it, it's Asclepius' staff. If it has 2, it's Mercury staff. And Mercury's not the only one who would have the staff. Also, Athena would be seen with it. Pallas Athena, which is the feminine side of Mercury in Earth. It's more that active Virgoing energy. So I say this to say this, because the staff is our spine, where our cerebral spinal goes up and down, and then we have the battling serpents, the red and the blue, the male and the female, that go up and down our spine. And as it traverses up and down our spine, it goes through our 7 chakral energy points, from our root up to our crown. What we want to do is have these balanced and not blocked. They get blocked by being imbalanced. So we balance out the negative and the positive, the feminine and the masculine. And through proper dietary actions, proper ethical actions, and if we take it into meditation, these visualizations, it helps us in the actualization of this salvation. So that we could open up our chakra systems and be running on full speed, bringing heaven to earth, heaven the crown of hell, the red root chakra. When you just get stuck in that base fear living, that's being in a living hell. Balancing out the alkaline and the acidic composition of us. It's a higher vibrational living and thinking. And Mercury is in charge of that process as the messenger, as the mover. It's also known as Nike, with its winged feet. And we see those wings on the top of the caduceus, also bringing to mind the cherubim, who is between, who guards the Ark of the Covenant, being the Ark on the top of your head, the dome, also the dome of heaven, the heaved up place. And so those wings from that cherubim are found in the cerebellum of our brain, also known as the bell of the bull of Taurus. It's the lower part of the brain, also known as cerebellum. And then above that, the top of the brain, at the lamb who's worthy to open up the gates of spring, the March, April, Aries ram. When we are able to hone that fiery warrior spirit and that the passion and direct it towards heaven and aspiration, we aspire. We have this spiral energy, like a church spire, and when we push that higher, bring along the lower, as we raise the dead, we ascend to heaven. Aries ram being Abraham and Sarah.